Yeah, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So we are here again with a new Parashah and some good lesson for us to learn. The Parashah for today's name is Shelach Lech, send for yourself. Different translation, but I will read something from traditional Judaism. Say this year, send yourself as you wish. As for me, I don't order it to you. If you want, send them. That's written in Sota 34b. You see? So now if you look carefully into the English translation, we read, Yehovah spake unto Moshe, saying, verse 2, send you men, that they may search the land of Canaan, which are given to the children of Israel. So if he give already, why does he send them? He doesn't send them, like we read in Sota 34b, send yourself as you wish. Now we have to understand, remember, Shelach Lecha, we found these words, Lecha, in another parasha, which is the parasha with Abraham. When Abraham was chosen by Yehovah, we read in the chapter, in Bereshit, Genesis chapter 12. Now, okay. I will read it in Hebrew, because if I read it in English, we are following from the King James. Now Yehovah said unto Avram, get thee out of thy country. But if I look into the Hebrew, what do we read? I will go back to the Bereshit chapter 12, and I will read, Vayomer Yehovah el Avram, Lech lecha. Vayomer Yehovah el Avram, Lech lecha. You see, go thee for yourself. And here we see that he said in this parasha, he said similar. Here he said, verse 2. We have the first verse, Vayedaver Yehovah el Moshe lemor, Shlach lecha anashim, anashim plural for men. Shlach lecha, send for yourself. And as we read in the Sota 34b, send yourself as you wish. As for me, I don't order it to you. We know that the land of Canaan was given to Avram already, Yitzchak and Yaakov. The land he promised to Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov. So he has not to give it, because it's already given. Now, if I go to Devarim chapter 1, if I remember, and he say, let me look in Deuteronomy chapter 1, he say in the verse 21 and 22, behold, Yehovah the Elohim has set the land before you, go up and possess it. As Yehovah Elohim of thy father has said unto you, fear not, neither be discouraged. And you came near unto me, every one of you, and say, we will send men before us, and they shall search out the land and bring us word against by what way we must go up. You see? We see here in Devarim, in the book of Deuteronomy, in the first chapter, repetition, but we see the terminology is different, the semantic is different. He said, behold, Yehovah the Elohim has set the land before you. Go up and possess it. As Yehovah Elohim of thy father has said unto you, fear not, neither be discouraged. And then we have the changing now. And you came near unto me, every one of you, and say, we will send men before us, and they shall show us out the land. Now, it's very interesting. Now we have a situation. So what we should say, which is very important, is when we read a parasha, when we study a Torah, we have always to remember what Shaul said unto us in Romans 12. He said, I beseech you, brethren, do not be conformed to this world, but be you transformed by the renewing of your mind. And I have explained already that the renewing of mind is really to dig into the Torah. The Torah is the tree of life. We nourish the inner man by studying the Torah. How do we do? Yes, in the beginning, we don't know anything. So we have to attach ourselves to people who knows better than us. And so we can grow, we can understand better, and step by step we will be able also to discern. Remember, by the mouth of the prophet Yeshayahu, Elohim said, I am Yehovah, beside me there is no other. I speak the end from the beginning. Your beginning is Bereshit, translated in English as Genesis. So Yehovah said to us that he speaks the end from the beginning. So if we want to know the end of the story, or the end of the age, we have to look into the book of Bereshit. It is written inside. It is written not in the pshat, in the literal meaning, but it is inside. And inside, it is so deep that we need to study. Yeah? Remember Paul again, Shaul say, study for yourself. So in order to be able to learn, okay, study for yourself, in order to be approved unto Elohim. Now, this is very important that when we learn, we will grow in understanding. We will grow in our emunah. The purpose of the Torah, because it is a tree of life, is to nourish our inner man, what we call the soul, and to make it strong in order to affront the challenge we face every day. And this is very important to understand. So when we grow, we learn how to approach the word and to understand the word of the apostle, the word of Yeshua, the word of Shaul, and to keep going for ourselves and not to be confused by man's doctrine. Unfortunately, many do not do the work. They don't study, and then they follow man's doctrine. That's not the will of Elohim. The will of Elohim is that we study the Torah. So here we have a parashah which is very, very important in order to understand about ourselves. About ourselves is about ourselves. How we will be transformed, how we will be changed. Remember last week we learned about the Lashon Hara from Miriam. The sage explained that this parashah has been put together in order for the people to learn from Miriam what is not good to do, to speak Lashon Hara, to speak evil. But we see they have not learned. They have not learned because they go and bring a bad report. And that is very terrible when we serve the King of Kings, the Master of the universe, the Creator of heaven and earth, and we look unto men. We will see in this very amazing, in this parasha, to see that they bring a confirmation of what Yehovah already said, that is a land flowing with milk and honey, but they added their evil report. They added their evil report. And that is what we should avoid. Why do they add their evil report? Why? Because their focus is wrong. Their focus is wrong. They focus on natural things, not on spiritual things. Yehovah is spirit, and we should look unto him as the one who knows better than we know. So we see in this parasha that they send the princes of every tribe, the princes. This means the highest position in. It's not anyone. It's not. No. He sent the princes of every tribe. He gives us a name, and we see of the tribe of Yehuda, Caleb, the son of Yephuneh, and he say, Hoshea, the son of Snun. He changed his name into Yehoshua. Is that a coincidence? It's not a coincidence. When Moshe, by divine inspiration, changed the name of Hoshea, added a Yud unto the name of Hoshea, it is a prophecy about the coming of Yeshua. And if you want to understand, we need to read the first 5 chapters from the book of Josué, Yehoshua, the son of Nun, when they before they enter the promised land. We will see a shadow of the things to come. When Yeshua, Mashiach Yeshua, will come back, will return to establish the kingdom of Elohim. Here, they go and they bring a bad report. No, they confirm, you see, they confirm, and they say that there is some details I want to read. You know, it say, look, in Bamidbar 13:18, what is the earth? He say, Rashi, that's a commentary from Rashi, say, some country produce strong men or the weak men. In some country the population is increasing, in other it is decreasing. Rashi in Bamidbar Rabbah. Are there trees? Bamidbar 13:20, another commentary from Rashi says in Baba Batra 15a, is there a virtuous man among them who merits can protect them, whose merits can protect them? You see? And he went to Hebron. We see that now, the translation, and they ascended by the south and came unto Hebron. Okay? Here they say that only Caleb went there and he bowed down to the tombs of the patriarchs so as not to be drawn into the plot fomented by his companions. Thus it is written, and I will give him the land where he walked, in Devarim 1:36. As well as they gave Hebron to Caleb, right, in Shoftim 1:20, which is a Sota 34b, commentary from Rashi. You see? So we have to understand that it is written in the Torah, Caleb and Yehoshua had another spirit. They had another spirit. They refused to accept the fatality of the giants in the land, of all what's an hindrance to enter. This is a warning unto us. What is my report? What is my report in my daily life, in my challenges? Do I look unto the natural things? Do I look unto our kings, Yehovah Tsebaot? What do I do? We do, because we have to look, excuse me, we have to look unto Yehovah through Mashiach Yeshua with our strength. Mashiach in you, the hope of glory. We don't have to worry about anything, because we know that all things work for good to those who love Elohim. But not so the spies. They were not ready for that. 10 of them failed. They failed because they refused to look at the promises. They forget to look at the promises. It is something which we shall avoid. And they came back with a bad report. Now, I want to make a point also to show you that when we study the Torah, we should always look for the shadow of things to come. What is the shadow of the thing? Shaul explained us and tell us in Corinthians that all what happened to our forefathers is the shadow of things to come. The shadows is exactly the picture of the reality, but it's not the reality itself. It is a picture of the reality, right? When you stand in the sun and you look at your shadow, it reflects exactly who you are. But we don't see the reality until we look unto you. You see yourself. But if you look at the shadow, you just see what it represents, but not the complete things. So Shaul tells us that the Torah is a shadow of things to come. So in order to understand that, we have to know what is over the shadow. Over the shadow of things, it is Mashiach. It is Mashiach. Because, as we know from the book of Hebrews, chapter 1, that the soul of the Mashiach, listen carefully, I don't say Yeshua, I say the soul of the Mashiach pre-existed this world. Pre-existed this world. Okay? So, and after that, we see, at the time appointed by Elohim, it was revealed unto us under the name of Yeshua, the son of Joseph and Miriam. I repeat, son legal son of them, conceived by Joseph and Miriam. Conceived by Joseph and Miriam. Okay? So, other is a discussion made by man. It's not valid for many reasons. We will make a video for that. Now, here we have a problem. Moshe is the first redemptor. Okay? Because he's the one who was sent by Elohim to deliver the children of Israel from Mitzrayim, called Egypt. The word Egypt is not to be found in the scripture, in the Hebrew. You will find always the word Mitzrayim. Egypt is known because we know that the river is called the Nile, and it's okay, today we know that it's Egypt. But at this time, it's not so, because in Mitzrayim, we find the descendant from Ham, one of the sons of Noah. Now, Moshe, being a shadow of things, of good things to come, is a picture of the Mashiach. He was sent by Elohim, Yeshua was sent by Elohim to deliver the children of Israel from Mitzrayim, from the bondage. Yeshua was sent by the Father to deliver us from the bondage. We were captive. We were in prison in our mind. In our mind, we were in prison. He came to set us free. And so we learn how to walk. And the Torah is our food. We need to take this food and to understand, I don't want that it happens what happened to the children of Israel in the midbar, in the desert. So I have to think about that, and I have to pray to grow and to be able to stand for truth. You understand? We see that in the life of the apostle after the resurrection of Yeshua. When they receive the Ruach HaKodesh, they are transformed. And if you have the Ruach HaKodesh in you, you shall be strong and not to be moved by the movement of the life, what we have today with this pandemic and with all these people, these governments who try to manipulate people. They are the giant. They are the giant in your land. You want to see the giant? Go and look at your governments. Look at them. We have it in Europe. You have it in the Philippines. You have it in the US. You have it everywhere. If you look at giant, yeah, you will see them. Yes, the land is good. We have papaya. We have mangoes. We have rice. We have bananas. We have meat. We have chicken. We have everything. We can feed ourselves. We can feed ourselves. But we have the giant. So this is very dangerous. We have the giant there. That's exactly what's happened today. We have the same situation. To what are you looking? To what are you looking? Are we looking to the giant? Or are we looking to the King of the Kings, Yehovah Tsebaot? That is what we have to ask. You see? This is what we have to ourselves. Whom I will look? Whom I will choose? If you go to the book of Yehoshua, the son of Nun, Josué, you will see what he say. He say, me and my household, we will serve Yehovah. Me and my household, we will serve Yehovah. And this is what we have to do. We have to choose. We cannot have feet in Mammon and feet in serving Elohim. It doesn't work. So we have to choose. We have to make up our decision to say, yeah, Father, with your help. No, with my own help. No, with your help. I will walk this way. And I trust you. This is, I put my emunah, my faith into you to help me to walk every day, and to take the right decision. And when I feel weak, I pray. You understand? This is our life. Now I want to show you something. You see, Moshe, I said, Moshe is a picture, is a shadow of the Mashiach. Why? We see here, when following this trouble with the spies, we see that Moshe, that Yehovah is angry. He's angry with the house of Israel. He's angry with the people. He say, yeah. And I go to the chapter 14, and I read verse 11. Yehovah said to Moshe, how long will these people provoke me? How long will it be here they believe me? For all the signs which I have shown among them. Remember, the signs, the sea of reed, which part in two, when he punished Pharaoh, when he give them water, and so on. I will smite them with the pestilence and disinherit them. Disinherit. And will make of you a greater nation and mightier than they. It's okay. If it is so, said Jehovah, I will change everything. I will destroy them. I will take you, Moshe. I will make a new nation. And Moshe said unto Jehovah, look what he said. Then the Mitzrayiters, the Egyptian, shall hear. For you brought us up, these people, in thy might, from among them. And they will tell to the inhabitant of this land, for they have heard that you, Jehovah, are among these people, that you, Jehovah, are seen face to face, and that thy cloud standeth over them, and that you goest before them by daytime in a pillar of cloud and in a pillar of fire by night. Now, if you shall kill these people as one man, then the nations which have heard thy fame will speak, saying, because Jehovah was not able to bring these people into the land which he sware unto them, therefore, as he slain them in the wilderness. It's not finished. And now I beseech thee, let the power of my master be great according as you have spoken, saying, Jehovah is long-suffering and of great mercy, forgiving iniquity and transgression. Read of Psalm 103. And by no means clearing the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the father upon the children unto the third and fourth generation. Pardon, I beseech thee, the iniquity of these people, according to the greatness of thy mercy, as you hast forgiven these people from Mitzrayim, even till now. And Jehovah say, I have pardoned according to thy word, Moshe's word. But as truly as I live, all the earth shall be filled with the glory, with the kavod of Jehovah. Because all those men which have seen my glory and my miracles which I did in Mitzrayim and in the wilderness, and have tempted me now these 10 times, and have not hearkened to my voice, surely they shall not see the land which I swear unto their fathers, neither shall any of them that provoke me see it. But my servant Caleb, because he has another spirit with him, and has followed me fully, he will I bring unto the land whereunto he went, and his seed shall possess it. Don't forget, it's Caleb and Yehoshua, the son of Nun. 2 of them, right? You see, Moshe intercede on behalf of the children of Israel. Who intercede for us today? Who intercede for us today in our weakness? It's Yehoshua. Yeshua is sit at the right hand of the Father. He is our mediator. He is our advocate. He is the one who intercedes before the Father to tell them, Father, they are thy children. They are thy children. Help them. They need you. Help them. Forgive them. You understand? We have the same situation. We are in the same situation. This is natural for spiritual. Natural for spiritual. We need to understand that. What we learn in the Torah, it is to feed ourselves with the good things. And we must see that what happened to the children of Israel can happen today the same. Can happen. It will depend on our decision, because we are the captain of our vessel. Nobody else. We ourselves, every one of us, is a captain in his own life. And the captain need to know what he's doing. So when we look into Jehovah, we pray, we read, we study the Parashah every Shabbat. Every Shabbat. How do we know that? You can go to the book of Acts and you will see that it's not a question of modern time to know to read the Parashah. When we see the shifting now from after the Yehoshua went back to the Father, we're going to read, you see, in the chapter 15, it's very interesting, because there is a problem there which appears to Shaul and Shaul and Barnabas. They were there and said, in the chapter 15, and certain men which came down from Yehuda taught the brethren and said, except you be circumcised after the manner of Moshe, you cannot be saved. This was a problem to Shaul and Barnabas. They decided to go to Jerusalem and to talk to the one who were in charge, were in the position of taking decision in the halakha, the way how to apply the Torah. So they went there and they began to discuss, and Kepha began to speak, explain things, and after that, the decision was taken by Yaakov, the brother of our master Yehoshua, and he said here, you see, and after they had held their peace, Yaakov answered, saying, men, brethren, hearken to me. Shimon has declared how Elohim at the first did visit the Goyim to take out of them a people for his name. And to this agree the words of the prophet, as it is written, after this, in Amos 9:11, after this I will return and we build again the tabernacle of David, which is fallen down. I will build again the ruin thereof, and I will set it up, that the residue of men might seek after Jehovah, and all the Goyim upon whom my name is called, says Jehovah, who does all these things. All the Goyim is not all, everyone. All the Goyim upon whom my name is called. Known unto Elohim are all these his works from the beginning of the world. Wherefore, he says, Jacob speaking, my sentence is that we trouble not them which from among the Goyim are turned to Elohim, but that we write unto them that they abstain from pollution of idols, from fornication, things strangled, and blood. Finish. End of the chapter. No, it's not end of the chapter. These are the first steps for all the Goyim who turn back to the Torah, to the word of truth, through Yeshua. And he say, for Moshe of old time, as in every city, them that preach him, been read in the assembly, synagogue, assembly, every Shabbat day. Now yeah, very interesting. He said, you see, you start with these 4 points, which are very important in order to restore. You know that we don't eat dugo, blood, you know, that we don't eat baboy, pork, that we don't eat, what do you call that, this, from the sea, the crabs and the octopuses and all the things. Nokos. Yes. You see, we avoid that. This is an easy way, but it goes much more. We have to go into, when you say avoid from blood, we don't eat blood. It means the animals must be slaughtered in a proper way. And we have to also, in our relationship with man and woman, we have to respect the nida, the period of time when she is in her menstruation, and so on and so on. He say, Moshe of all time, as in every city, them that preach him, be read in the assembly every Shabbat day. What is interesting here is, if you go to an assembly every Shabbat, Baruch Hashem Yehovah is beautiful. You go to an assembly. But if you go to an assembly where they don't preach and teach the Parashah, then you are in the wrong place, because you will never grow. You will learn doctrines, you will learn many wrong things, but you will never develop what Elohim wants from you. We need to do that. We need to be with brethren who help us to understand the Parashah in its Hebrew context, in its Jewish context. You can debate with me, but it is so. If you don't want to see that every Shabbat, Moshe of all is read in every assembly, then Moshe do not read the prophet. He wrote the 5 books. The 5 books which is called the Torah of Moshe. Because Moshe received it from Jehovah. So if you go to an assembly, I repeat it, if you go to an assembly and they don't read the parachute every Shabbat, then you are in the wrong place. You lose your time. It's better to stay at home and to study the Torah in order to be approved to Elohim. Study for yourself. Don't look at these leaders in the assembly who tell you blah, 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 but you never read the parachute with you because themselves they are not able to understand the parachute. They are not able. So I warn you seriously, we are living in the last days, the last hours of the last days. The master will come at any time. We see around us. We are living in Europe and we know what is going on now with the war from Russia and Ukraine. We know that it is just the beginning, but it will increase. We see that this pandemic, we see all the government who try to manipulate the mind of people. If you don't go to an assembly where you can grow, you will fall. I repeat it, if you don't go to an assembly where they teach the Torah, where they teach the truth, you will not stand. When the challenge will increase, you will not stand. So be courageous, be strong. Be strong, be courageous, and learn. Attach yourself to somebody to grow. And if you have the possibility to do it, believe me, there is always a way. Pray to Elohim. Pray, ask him to send people across your ways to help us to grow in the truth. And you will see if Elohim do not answer. He will answer, because it is his will. Remember, it is written in the Brit Hadashah, Shaul say, it is the will of Elohim that every man shall come to the knowledge of the truth and shall be saved. And the truth is the Torah. The truth is the Torah. So we have to know that. We have to understand that if I don't do that, I cannot blame anybody but myself. I cannot blame anybody but myself. I have to learn the Torah. I have to spend time. And I go around myself. Assembly is not to go to a building. An assembly, as we read in the Brit Hadashah, was many times in the house of somebody. In the house of somebody, we have it. If you want to look, you can read in the book of Romans, another place. I will show you, so that you don't think I do that myself. I will show you the place. And there are many places. Let me see. Look. This is a gratulation. The Shaul is speaking, and he say, greet Priscilla and Aquila, my helpers in Mashiach Yeshua, who have for my life laid down their own necks, and to whom not only I give thanks, but also all the assembly of the Goyim. Likewise, greet the assembly that is in their house. Okay? So, we have it here, but we can see, we can go to 1 Corinthians 16, and we read again. The assembly of Asia salute you, Aquila and Priscilla, salute you much in Jehovah with pardon, the assembly that is in the house. The assembly that is in the house, 2 times, you see? And we can read more. We go to Colossians, you will see. It's 4. Salute the brethren which are in Laodicea and Nymphas and the assembly which is in his house. You see? 3 times, there is more. Okay? You see, in his house, in their house, we need to surround ourselves with people who have the same appetite for the truth. If not, we are just a bunch of people who sing hallelujah like in Christianity. The Torah, I insist on it, the Torah is a tree, is a tree of life. It's a tree of life to nourish ourselves. So brothers and sisters, we shouldn't be like the spy who missed their call and were bound to run 40 years. We need to amend ourselves and to trust Jehovah with all our heart, with all our soul, with all our might. we need to trust him and to say, I don't care if I have to leave this place because they don't teach the Torah, I will do it. I don't have any name to give you. You should know yourself, what you are doing every day, what you are doing in the Shabbat, what you are doing during the feast. Do I go to an assembly who they always criticize others, who will point to others that they are wrong, but this assembly is the best because of that and that? No. You need to know yourself. If you are courageous, you will pray and you will ask Elohim, am I in the right place? Father, if I am not in the right place, I pray that you may lead me in the place to learn your words. Yeah. So we can speak much more, but we stop here today. I pray that every one of us should be able to take the right decision and amend our ways in order to please Elohim as obedient children. Obedient children. We need to be obedient children to honor our Father Elohim and our Adon Yehoshua HaMashiach, because we have to be prepared when he come back. When he come back to set up the kingdom of Elohim, are we prepared? Are we prepared to receive? Are we prepared to present ourselves that he say, well done, good servant? Are we prepared for that? So think about that. Okay, I let you hear. Question, yes.
It was a spies entering for the entering of the promised land, right?
Yes.
So it is considered also the bad report of the 10 spies is considered a lashon hara. Now,
yes.
How do we compare in the book of Yaakov, the book of James concerning the tongue?
Yeah.
Can you address with it?
Yeah, Jacob speak about that, and if we turn about this small tongue, it's very critical. This is why can we criticize? No. Can we rebuke? Yes. That's a big difference between criticize and rebuking. If I rebuke something, he say here, okay, he say, the tongue is a little member and boasts the great things. Behold, how great a matter a little fire kindles. And the tongue is a fire, a word of iniquity. So is the tongue among our members, that it defile the whole body and setteth on fire the course of nature. And it is set on fire of Sheol. You see, we have to be careful what we speak. In the book of Proverbs, I don't know if I will find it now, but I will quote it. In the book of Proverbs, it is written somewhere. I will, if I don't find it straight, I will give it to you. It is written, life and death are in the power of the tongues. Okay? Life and death. What does it mean? Life and death, it means I will feed myself with what I speak. I can speak life or I speak death. I can speak good, I can speak evil. But everything has a consequence in my life. So I shall meditate on that. Before I go, I shall meditate on that and think about myself, not others, what they are doing, if they speak evil or... No, it's about ourselves, always about ourselves, not the other. I shall tame this tongue. Jacob said, we shall tame this tongue and be wise, not to speak like fools. We must be wise and control ourselves. Are they wrong? Maybe they are wrong. But we have a Father who sees everything. Instead to come and to criticize, to talk to others, blah, 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 blah. You have seen this one, you have this one, blah, blah, blah. No, pray. Pray for them. Pray for them. And pray we should pray for ourselves, not to fall into the lashon hara, not to fall in the evil tongue. If there is somebody who does wrong and we know him, We can go to him and rebuke him. Say, brother, sister, what you are doing is wrong. You know, please take a step to change that. That is okay to rebuke somebody, but not to go in the assembly and to speak about the other assembly and to criticize. No, that's his evil tongue. And he falls into judgment. He falls into judgment. And Elohim will not tolerate that. He will not. And when the judgment falls, the people are so blind that they don't even see that. They don't even see that. So please, control your tongue as I work to control my tongue. We need to do that. It's very important. Speak blessing and not evil words. Speak blessing upon the people. Even those who do wrong to you, speak blessing unto them. Speak blessing. Control your tongue. Bite on your tongue before you speak if it is for evil. Bite your tongue until it pains. Then you will realize, thanks be to Elohim that I have not spoken.
Sometimes we are driven with our flesh.
Yeah.
Our carnality.
The flesh is our enemy. The human being is driven by two forces. The Yetzer Hara and the Yetzer Tov. The evil inclination, the good inclination. So, the good inclination, you see, Shaul said, walk in the Ruach, it should not fulfill the desire of the flesh. In other words, he say that the Yetzer Tov must take control of the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination. And how does it come? It comes simply by the way of studying the Torah, meditating on the Torah, and praying. Those who do not do that, one day they will fall. They will fall because the word is not in them. It is only in their intellect. In their intellect. So we have to choose. We have to choose what we are doing. So I encourage you, if it is not your case, if you go to an assembly where the Torah is not taught, I say the Torah, not the Haftarah. The Torah. It's good to read the Haftarah, but the foundation of our faith, of our emunah, is the Torah, the word of truth. So if it is not taught in your assembly, forget. You lose your time. It doesn't matter how long you are there. You have learned doctrines. Christianity, since centuries, teach doctrines. People are lost. People are lost because they don't teach the truth. Clings sound like the truth, but it's not the truth. Yeah, hallelujah. And many falls. Many are entangled in man's doctrine. So if you want to be like them, oh yes, I am in the right assembly because my leader said that and that and that and that. But you have never checked in the Torah if it is so. You have never checked because he doesn't read the Torah. He doesn't speak about the Torah. He will speak about the Haftarah, making a nice story, or the Brit Hadashah, tell you a nice story about the right shoes. You understand? But they will not tell you what is the truth. And the truth is for everyone. It is open before us. We need that. We need to study. And
change our garment.
yeah, we need to be transformed. We need to wear the clothes of righteousness. Remember, in the parable of the wedding, in this wedding, it is a king who make a marriage. And this one who entered there, and the master told him, but you have not changed your garment. He was kicked out. He was kicked out. What does it mean that? This man has not made the step to change his garment, to wash his clothes, the garment of his own identity, the nefesh. He was like the world. He was like the world. He was not accepted. He was kicked out in outer darkness. So we need to be careful. We need to be prepared. And then we need to be watchful every single day, not Shabbat from Shabbat, Shabbat to Shabbat. Not every day. Every day we should make a checkup in our life. Start the day with good intention. Finish the day with a checkup. Was my life okay? My life today okay? or should I repent? Yes, that is the work Elohim wants us to go through. So, brother and sister, I speak for every one of us, including myself. We need to do the job. We need to do the work. And if we do it, then we will see when Mashiach come back. We will be approved. Okay? So, don't look at Judah. Judah is our elder brother. Judah is our elder brother. And don't play the game to speak against Judah. Don't play the game to speak against Judah. Because Judah has been entrusted with authority. With authority. So, you can read. You go to Bereshit, Genesis chapter 49. Look at the blessing of Judah, you will see. The scepter and the lawgiver will not depart from Yehuda until Shiloh come. Shiloh is another name for the Mashiach. So, if Shiloh is already there, but it's not there. So, don't make a mistake. Shiloh has not yet come. Shiloh has not yet come. Yes, Yeshua has come 2,000 years ago. But Shiloh has not yet come. He will come as a Mashiach ben David. Then he will be the king on earth, a king, and every knee will bow down to him.
Because this is a good example now about Judah. I know that there are many wrong also. Not all, because we know we can learn from Judah. But there are some, the teaching, the tradition they have, what is not from the Torah, they added like that.
Yes.
And we cannot criticize, because many times we state, the Judah is so, we criticize Judah.
If we, yeah, is
Yehuda
Yehuda perfect? No, it's not perfect. Everything will be perfected when Mashiach come back. But these do not give us the right to go against Judah in our social network, in Facebook and whatever we have, to go against Judah. We have no right for that. Okay? We are not forced to do it. We are not forced to do it. But we have to be careful with our tongue, what we are speaking. Yehuda is our brother. Read Ezekiel 37. Who will be one nation? Who will be one nation? Read that. And you will see. So, I encourage you to look. And if you have spoken evil against Yehuda, make tshuva. Go to the King of Kings and ask for forgiveness and for wisdom in the way you are walking. And forbid yourself to speak against Yehuda.
We're not talking secular people, Jew, huh?
No, we don't speak about secular. We speak about traditional Judaism. Yeah. Okay, we learn a lot. If you are patient, you will learn a lot in Judaism. You will do beautiful things. Because if you think they don't know about Mashiach because they don't know Jesus, or they don't know about Yeshua, you are wrong. You are wrong. They know much better about Mashiach than we know. Much better. So we need to be humble and to walk before Elohim humbly. Okay? So it's finished for today. I wish you a blessing. For those in the East, I will say Shavua Tov. And keep the way. Just think about that. I just want to encourage you not to fall into the hands of man. Okay? Shalom, and see you for the next parasha. Jehovah's willing.
Shalom, sis. Shalom, Sister Lorraine.
She was listening. Yeah, you can only do to those who want to listen.
No, they will be listen after that because you will be stay.